everyone. I think I'm just going to start billing myself as the only sane one on this broadcast.
Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin.
There we go. Cranky isn't cranky anymore. Alyssa's cranky.
You know what I want to see in the forest? I want to see a unicorn. Want all you want. Wish in one hand, but poop in the other.
Well, hello, fellow addicts. Welcome back to a very special episode of Addicts Live. Although we're not quite as live as we usually are. We're going live to videotape with this one, everyone. So we can bring you a very special year in review episode. So for those who don't know me, I'm Alyssa, your resident head addict. And joining us on the show this week is our resident not so cranky old guy, but ready to bring out his inner crank whenever the update we're reviewing calls for it. Patrick?
Absolutely. I'm ready. I've got my crank meter ready to turn up, so I'm good. That's why I'm wearing my Genghis Khan hat.
We should rate things on a scale of 0 to cranky.
There you go.
And joining us is our resident mathematician, figuring out all of the stats and data so you don't have to, Super Safi.
How's it going, everyone? Happy New Year.
Unfortunately, the Wookster had to work while we're recording this, but he did tell me he was going to try to record something to add into this. Since we're pre-recording this, I'll be able to edit it in. So hopefully we get that in time and we can add it in. Odds are it might just be in the podcast version. So I'll make sure I make a note on the post if it's there for the podcast version, but make sure you listen to that version for Wookie's Thoughts if it's indicated there. So fingers crossed we can make it all work. Did everyone have a nice Christmas? We're recording this on December 27th. So it's post-Christmas, but pre-New Year. So did everyone have a nice Christmas?
Yeah, I was chill, very relaxed. We only had one of the many children here. They're showing up at sporadic times. We visited with them at different times. But with the impending wedding, we have a ton of people showing up for a shower on the 30th. And then we have the wedding on February 3rd. So it goes on and on. I just realized that my Genghis Khan hat is also a really great muffler because I can barely hear myself talk. I have to like turn my head up. This is the fur thing. Anyway, all right. Yeah, that was great. We saw a movie on Christmas, which is our tradition. I strongly suggest The Shape of Water. It was phenomenal. Really good. And there you go.
And did Santa bring you anything special?
I'm not going to say it out loud because she's sitting right next to me. Right, Alexis?
Thank God you said it wrong. Yes, Patrick got an echo. We were playing with it before we started broadcasting. And how about you, Saf? Did you have a nice Christmas?
I did. It was nice, relaxing. Got a great gift that I'm excited about. Yeah, so it was a great time.
What did you get? Will you share, or is it secret?
Yes, I actually have it with me. Let me see if I could get it in the shot.
Okay.
See, this is pre-planning. I actually had it lined up. I framed it. It's a scratch-off world map. Yeah, so I got to scratch off everywhere I've been. Well, I realized I missed a couple of countries, but
oh, that's pretty cool.
Sadly, yeah. So, and it has all the states and provinces as well for Canada and the US. So yeah, as you could maybe possibly see, I've been all over the Northeast, but yeah, I'm missing pretty much the rest of, or actually the entire eastern coast I've been.
So so when you scratch something off, does it turn blue?
So it turns blue for the US, turns like a greenish color for
Oh, I see. Okay,
Canada.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, pink for Mexico. Yeah, green in Europe. Blue for Australia, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so really excited to get that and really excited to try to fill it up. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Some vacations to fill out.
Good
but yeah,
stuff.
I loved it.
That's neat. That's neat. I know a lot of people have the maps with the pins, but that's cool. The scratcher map.
Yeah, it was fun too, scratching off the flags.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really excited. Probably one of my favorite gifts I've had.
Did it come framed? Or did you have to?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
Get
I
a
got a
come with
friend.
airline tickets?
Hey, that would have been nice. Yeah, missed out on that unfortunately yesterday.
I may get rid of this hat. I'm not sure.
Go ahead.
It's driving me nuts.
It's okay, Pat. You can get rid of that.
Kind of like it, but anyway, okay, go ahead.
So we have a 2-year-old in this house. So Santa was here. Santa brought her a race car roller coaster. You can check out my Instagram to see a video of her riding it. But yeah,
It's the real deal.
pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. She hasn't been able to stop riding it since we got it. So
I like it.
other than that, it was a good Christmas. And do you guys have any? I mean, we're in between the holidays, so I know Patrick has a birthday coming up too. But do you have any plans for New Year's?
Yeah, I complain that I'm not 65. 64 blows. I mean, it's like it's taunting you. Your body feels like it's 65, and I'm ready for my Medicare tune-up when I hit 65. Get all my joints recirculated, my eyeballs redone, everything else. If I can last that long. So now 64, what's the song? Will You Still Love Me When I'm 64? I don't know. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how people feel about me now. So I'll be 64 on New Year's. Yeah.
How about you, Sap? Do you have any New Year's plans?
Nothing in the works yet. I mean, I'm gonna go down to North Carolina the first weekend after New Year's. But yeah,
Have you
nothing.
been there before?
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, so you already scratched it.
Well, yeah, the whole Eastern Seaboard scratched off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. Okay.
I've done the drive up and down to Florida a couple times.
That's a drive. For you, that's a drive. It's only 17 hours for me, but for you, that's a drive. Whew.
Just 25, 26, so yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, you're wimps. We did that cross country trip last year. Remember?
I've done that. I've
Yeah.
done that. I did that 3 times. But
Yeah,
still,
we
it's a
did
drive.
9,600 miles. We did around the cross country trip. So 30 days. It was great fun.
Sheesh.
That's when we met
So,
Riley the first day.
That's true. That's true. When she was
Oh,
things on the floor.
And life changed.
She
All
helped
right.
me.
How about
She
you?
helped me
Any
move the
Year's
knife,
plans?
out of everyone's back. So
That's right. It's true.
so here's where I normally remind you that this show is meant to be interactive, but since we're pre-recording, there's not much to currently be interactive about. Fortunately, we planned ahead and we've gathered your thoughts and responses a couple weeks ago. So don't worry, we'll still be including your thoughts in the show, just not as interactive as we normally are.
It's kind of more telepathic, right? That's why I'm wearing the hat, is that I'll be able to figure out what Happy Tapper thinks on everything. He loves it!
So
Sorry.
So now let's get to it, shall we, boys?
Okay.
So 2017 and TSTO, interesting year for sure. We finally got Rabbi K, the Pin Pals, Bleeding Gums, Merry WrestleMania Spuckler, and Santa in our games, not to mention the airport, the bowling alley, and a couple of magical monorails. But many of us are still holding out for Sarah Wiggum and more classic characters, and there's a few that are still holding out for Phil Hartman characters, which you might be holding out for a while. The events were good, bad, and ugly, and we survived another year together. And fortunately, it all wrapped up with a sweet, pretty bow that is the Invasion Before Christmas event. So let's dive right in, starting with the major events. As there are every year, we saw 6 major events in TSTO during 2017. Those events were Around the World, Secret Agents, Time Travel Toaster, Homer Palooza, Halloween, and Christmas. So let's start this off in chronological order with the Around the World event. This event hit our games in January, February of 2017. It was the first major event. We finally landed the Springfield Airport in our games. Uncle Norbert gave us a fact-talking globe, and we all got a nasty case of Osaka flu. Major prizes included Caesar and Oglin. I'm sure I said that wrong. From season 1, and premium offerings included Mr. Sparkle and Chateau Maison. So boys, what are your good, bad, and ugly moments from around the world?
I thought it was a pretty meh event, although I think Mr. Sparkle's hilarious. Although,
now you finally know what he says.
Figured out in the last episode of this show, we finally figured out what he says on that one. A turnip as large as a daikon which is the weirdest thing ever. Period. But I still laugh every time he says it.
So Mr. Sparkle was your good.
Yeah,
What was your,
Mr. Sparkleduck. Mr. Sparkleduck. Yeah, it was good. The rest of it, I just thought was, you know, it was fun. The airport was fun. Some of that stuff was fun. I think the reason I liked it at the time was that everything leading up to it was so not fun. I mean, we came off that horrible Christmas right into the like Homer Palooza, which was kind of weird. Or I should say was a Homer Palooza, the Great Fatsby. I mean, there was some weird stuff that was just kind of like, you know. So I think that it was the timing was what made it better. But no, it's
so
not. It's low.
So in your 0 to Crank, this was like a middle of the road.
See, here's the thing. At the time, I would have given it a better rating than I give it now in comparison because we have hindsight now. So no, I would put it down in like if we had 4 big ones, right? I would.
6.
Oh, we had 6 big ones. I would give it probably number 4 out of 6.
Okay. Okay. Saf, what are your good, bad, and ugly moments?
Good characters. I mean, you got a couple off the bracket battle in the game, Caesar and Nolan, and of course Mr. Sparkle. So that was nice to see. I also liked the airport, getting all the airport tiles. Bad. I don't really think there was much bad that I liked that I didn't like at that time. It would just be nice if we could get a few more tile pieces. That would have been nice. Airport tiles. Yep. Yeah, that's really nothing bad or ugly about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time to find something bad or ugly to say until we get to Halloween.
Well, I'll give you a bad.
I love everything.
The Osaka flu, while great in theory, was bad in execution because there were a lot of people that I don't even think ended up with Osaka flu.
Right.
You know, I know it was, which I guess traditionally would be like a normal virus where not everybody gets it, but it was difficult because you earn more currency from it. So that was one difficulty. But it was a solid event, solid TSTO event. You know, there's not much bad. Mostly good, nothing great, nothing phenomenal to it. So, you know, that's just it's a solid normal TSTO event, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, again, as Safi said, part of it was that some of it was repetitive, very repetitive. You kept winning the same prizes, but there wasn't enough tiles. I wanted to build a big airport, and I could only build a pretty big airport. So, but I did like Norbert. Did Norbert come with that one?
Yes. Uncle Norbert was with that one.
I like anything that flies. So I'm a big fan of Norbert in the biplane. I still think he's great.
So it's interesting
I like the globe too.
Go ahead, Saf. Sorry,
I like the globe too and the little facts. I like geography, and yeah, it was nice. It was a little different. I liked the event.
Do you scratch your globe?
I did yesterday.
Sounds like a personal question, quite honestly.
Well, guess we're going there again. All right.
So what just dawned on me though was that event, which was the first event of 2017, the airport tiles were won in a similar way that the ice tiles are won now. You have a limited number. They're in a mystery box. You get it by doing something else, and that's it. It's very similar to the ice tiles now. So that's kind of a started in the beginning, started in January, kind of ends in December. That's interesting. I just kind of clicked with me now.
Or clicked if you're talking about the ice, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the next event was Secret Agent Simpsons, arriving in our games in March, April. It was the second major event of 2017. This was the launch of Globex in our games and all things spy. Major prizes included Agent Bont, Wayne Slater, and countless other spy-themed buildings and decorations. Premium offerings included The Nerds, Russ Cargill, and the half-naked Femme Fatale. So I know what Patrick's thoughts on this one are, but boys, your thoughts on Secret Agent Simpsons?
Yeah, I like anything that's half naked, just so you know. But yeah, even Santa. So no, I thought this one was actually one of my favorites of the year. It was in the top 2 or 3 probably. I loved the spy gadget stuff. I still have a whole town, and when I'm bored, I'll just run my finger all around the sky, just making them all go off. It's totally hilarious. And I like the fact that that was the first time they brought in something innovative with the game that you had to tap and the little army guys, the gizmo deal. I mean, that was pretty cool. I thought it was a fun event. I would probably say, again, I don't know, out of the 6, it'd be 2 or 3.
Okay. Saf?
For me, I loved, first of all, I have to mention the nerds. I mean, I was campaigning for them big in the bracket battle, so it was great to get Gary, Doug, and Benjamin in my town. So that by far just elevates this event to another level.
I should have bought them. I did not buy them. I admit it.
You should have gotten them in the mystery box then.
Alyssa knew how much I wanted them, so she actually looked at the files, and as soon as she saw it, she messaged me right away. I know you don't like spoilers, but
everybody's gonna ask me for spoilers now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I gave him a warning. Yes.
I had a dream about it.
If I know people are waiting,
I put my hat on. It was telepathic.
Character, I will give you, just like I did when Jesus came to the game. I give you a little bit of a warning. I give you a little bit of an idea if I know you're waiting for a specific character. So yes.
Yeah, you fed me bleeding gums. I remember that. That's right.
For me, the bad and the ugly of the event, I wouldn't call it bad. It was probably maybe the ugly. I didn't really like the craftables. I know, Pat, you loved it and you have a whole section. I didn't really find the connection for a lot of it with the Simpsons episodes. Some of it seemed original.
I think it was, but it was clever. It was really clever the way, if you put them all in one section and you just run your finger over the top of it, it is hilarious. It's really funny animation. But I agree, a lot of it was non-canon. You're right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that for me. Otherwise, I mean, overall, I was pretty happy with the event, and yeah, having the little mini game now in our town, the ability to collect more stuff for the monorail weekly rail yard. Yeah, can't complain about that.
I mean, this one was another solid event. We got a lot of characters with this one, a lot of original characters, not skins, not costumes. There were a lot of original characters, which was nice because they were in the prize track, which is always good when you get freemium characters. The animation with this event was spot on. I know Pat wrote a whole post just about the animations with the spy event, because every building had some kind of crazy spy animation to it. It was really neat. And if you're into spy stuff, that's really cool. Also, you know, Mastermind Hank Scorpio, his fire task with that one. His original fire task is actually one of my favorite animations in the entire game, but his new fire task is great. It's great. And it's nice to finally have Globex, you know, and have the Hammock District and all that. It's nice fun area. Springfield and Cypress Creek. Sorry.
I should mention.
Go ahead.
No, just with going with the spy. If you're into spy stuff, I highly recommend the Spy Museum, International Spy Museum in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, it's one of those times when you look at it and you go, "Our tax dollars paid for this." Cool. The shooting cigarette boxes and that is a cool thing. No, there was some animations there that to this day I just laugh at. I love the guys that are hidden in the trees and you tap them and they stand up and turn sideways, and then the guys that are in the pop machine. I mean, again, it's just funny stuff.
The guy on the bench is cracks me up. You know, he's flat on the bench. That one's good too.
They're all good.
Any other thoughts on Secret Agent Simpsons?
Nah, it was good.
Solid event, right?
Yep.
All right, so next it's time to time travel to the early days of summer and the Time Traveling Toaster event, or TTT as we dubbed it. The third major event of 2017 saw dinosaurs roaming Springfield, many practices of walking like an Egyptian, and loads of pirate battles. Major prizes included a joke-telling parrot, a prehistoric Moe, and a Sphinx. Premium offerings included prehistoric Booberella, a giant Screama pillar, and a Mozart Bart lookalike. So, good, bad, and ugly with this one.
I am going to surprise everyone by saying I did not buy Booberella because she was so emaciated. No, this I wrote extensively about this, and it's interesting that we that it's, you know, the syntax or whatever you were using is the TTT, I mean, I couldn't say it fast enough that I didn't like this episode. There's a lot of reasons, and I wrote about it extensively. I'm not into time travel stuff. First of all, you can't go backwards. You can go forwards, but not backwards, supposedly. But more importantly, I don't like having all these multiple characters wandering around town. I've never liked the concept. I don't like future Lisa standing right next to real Lisa. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't get it. The dinosaurs, however, have had a couple of nice animations, and I do currently have them in my Land of Mythology. I won't break the whole joke out here, but the Land of Mythology has many of my religious characters as well, along with the dinosaurs, because I'm going to write a post about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Saf?
Now, the good for me in this event was kind of like around the world where they did 3 different continents or countries. Here, too, we kind of got 3 different time periods. So if you didn't like one, it was just 2 weeks, and then it was over.
Yeah.
You didn't get hammered with 6 weeks of one similar type of content. So that was kind of the good about it. The bad for me in this event, I wasn't really thrilled with the characters or freemium offerings in particular for this event. Yeah, that was pretty much the only downer with this was the characters, and in particular the freemium characters. Ugly. Yeah, nothing really ugly about it. Overall, it was a average, or from I guess everyone perspective, maybe below average event for. Yeah.
I'm starting to really like you, Saf. I think you're my yin to my yang. I mean, you keep me just balanced enough, because I always go back and I go, well, he thinks it's okay. Safi's all right. I mean, I didn't buy a single premium character on this one that I recall. What were the premium offerings again?
We had Booberella, you had Egyptian Skinner, you had the Mozart bar, things like that. You had the what was the other one? The Scream-a-Pillar.
And even the freemium characters, sorry, were there a lot, or were there?
No, this event actually is probably towards my bottom. I actually think this event was worse than Halloween, which I know is shocking for a lot of people, because the offerings with this stunk. I mean, there were no.
That's my shock look.
The prizes were terrible. I mean, there was no. There were no full characters offered in the prize track. Everything was a skin.
That's what I thought.
I like
decorations there were no buildings. It was all like crummy decorations. If you really weren't into dinosaurs and stuff, like all my stuff's in storage in this event.
The treehouse is cool. The treehouse is cool, and the dinosaur was cool. And those are the only 2 that I have that still survive.
And the treehouse was premium, and I didn't buy it. But the I did buy Booberella, and I have the only 2 items from this event I have out are Moe's Cavern, because I think it's funny and it's in my desert area, and Booberella's Cave, because I think that they're funny. But other than that, this event was really, this event was lacking. When we first had this event teased, I forget who I was talking to, but I said there's 2 ways they can go with this. They can go flashback to when Homer and Marge were in high school, because they were talking about time travel, and I was like, they can either flashback to then, or they can go really far back and we'll see dinosaurs roaming. And I was like, if they show dinosaurs roaming, that's going to be really hard to keep Springfield canon, and that's kind of what they did, and they didn't offer enough. They really put an update based on like one teeny tiny Treehouse of Horror episode, and it just wasn't. I don't know. Right. It didn't do much for me.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, let's really cut to the chase. The biggest offense of the whole thing was the fact they made Booberella emaciated. She did not look booberish at all. So, and I wrote about it. It was wrong, I tell you.
Yes, you can look up Patrick's post on that. So, do we have any more thoughts on the TTT event?
Well, one of the good things I did like about the event, again, is another mini game, the excavation site. I love that we continuously get the opportunity to get prizes that give us XP. I mean, yeah, but people complain that you can have 1,000 whatever fences or hieroglyphic walls, but at least you're getting XP for all of it, and you can just store it. You have unlimited storage, as Wookie would say.
You do. You have unlimited storage. All right, so now let's rock on to the end of summer and the Homer Palooza event, the 4th major event Springfield saw. the arrival of all things music, rock and roll to the pops. So from rock and roll to the pop stylings of the New Kids on the Bleach, and even a bit of hip hop thrown in. Major prizes included the Sungazer Crew, Alaska, Nebraska, and Pimped Out Cletus, although he was dubbed Manager Cletus for the game. We were a little worried about calling him Pimped Out Cletus. Premium offerings included Bleeding Gums Murphy, Leon Kompowski, Alcatraz, and Jazzy Good Times, among other items. So your thoughts on Homer Palooza?
It was my number 2 event for all the obvious reasons. I'm a musician. I thought it was hilarious. It was well executed. I still have the stages up. I planted my stages near the dump in the airport in homage to Woodstock 1997 or whatever that was when they blew up an airport. Bleeding Gums, I mean, I've wanted Bleeding Gums forever, so that was a gimme. I just thought it was really clever. I thought it was really, well executed. It was funny. I had no issue with the gameplay. It was a little long, again, like that's when I was, I could have done with a 4-week deal, but no, it was number 2 in all my updates of the year.
Okay. Saf?
I gotta say ditto pretty much, minus the 4-week thing. I had no issues with it being 6 weeks with the 3 different rock, pop, and hip hop.
Again, my yin. You're fine with 6 weeks. Okay, fine.
The characters were phenomenal. I went out for both Leon K and for Bleeding Gums, both coming out of the bracket battle. So that was nice to see those 2 guys in there. Party Posse, for some reason, I don't know, maybe because I was a 90s, when NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were out, I loved the Party Posse episode. Yeah. Even at the odds. Yeah. So it was nice to get those skins and get that. I loved the whole event. There was no bad or ugly for me for that event.
So it was a good event. It was another solid event. I agree with Patrick, though. It was a little long. This was the event that really inspired the Make TSTO Events Great Again post, because this was like, all right, guys, dog days of summer and we're grinding away. And I was just like, all right, I'm done. But I did think that this event was premium heavy, way too premium heavy. The best stuff was all premium. If you look at the prize tracks, most of the stuff in the prize tracks wasn't that great. You got Alaska, Nebraska, so you got a new character there. And you got the 2 Sungazer guys. But the other stuff was all premium. Bleeding Gums, Leon Kompowski, Alcatraz. That was all premium offerings. And it was expensive premium offerings, too. So that would be my only really complaint about this event was expensive. It's very premium heavy.
I think I rationalized it this way. I went to a concert, a couple concerts over the summer, and paid $75 a ticket for one, and $135 a ticket for the other. So it's kind of like, that wasn't expensive. I'll spend whatever I have to spend to get Leon and Bleeding Gums.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it too. I just thought it was a little premium. I thought it could have been a little more balanced.
Well, they knew they had us over the barrel on Bleeding Gums. They
knew Bleeding Gums was going to be premium. You knew it, and you knew it was going to be expensive premium.
I mean, Bleeding Gums and Jesus side by side. Come on, let's be honest about it.
And Bleeding Gums was cheaper than Jesus, so
yeah, there you go.
But that would be my only complaint, though. Otherwise, like the crowds are hilarious. The angry crowd, the cheering crowd, the fact you can put them in different formations, those are great. The stages are great. My stages are all out. I've got a little Homer Palooza area set up, so that's all done. The tents, like all the little touches, the beer tent, the soda tent, the fencing, sponsored fencing, all nice touches. It was a good event. It was a very solid event. Probably, I would agree, especially out of everything we've talked about so far, that probably would have been the best event. If the year stopped right there, that would have been the best event of 2017.
I agree.
But I got to give a bad. So the bad was that it was premium.
It does bring the question, though. So if Bleeding Gums and Jesus both were in concert, you would pay a lot more to see Jesus in concert, wouldn't you?
I would.
Come on. Okay, there you go. All right.
Turn water into wine. Come on.
No, but they also serve free, bread and fish, so it's great. Yeah. It works out great. And he, sings from a mountain. It's great.
Exactly.
So anyway, sorry.
Any more thoughts on Homer Palooza?
Nah.
Okay. No. All right. So flash forward to the shortened days and the cool, crisp fall air, and we arrive at the 5th major event, the annual Halloween event. This year, it was themed with the Wizarding World of Angelica Button and Fantastic like beasts. Major prizes included troll forms of Lenny, Carl, and Barney, Gray Stash, and a wizarding unicorn. Premium offerings included Angelica Button, a beast form of Wiggum, a cat bus, and loads of other wizarding-inspired items. Now, I know this is not an event not one of us want to rehash. I'm pretty sure we all thought we buried this long ago, months ago, and said we're never talking about it again. But it wouldn't be a year in review if we didn't talk about Halloween 2017. So let's have at it, boys.
Okay, so I, as I've said many times, did not mind the update nearly as much as most people did. I thought it was clever. It should not have been a Halloween update. That was the problem with it. Beings as we had just visited Harry Potterville at Universal, I had fun with it. It was fine. And when the wizard walks around and says, you know, talks to Angelica Button, it still makes me laugh every time. But it's, no, I thought it was way too long. It was repetitive. It wasn't great. The Harry Potter heads loved it. But mostly what I hated about it, for obvious reasons, was the ridiculous fan comments and email and crazy drama around something as silly as this was. So that's what left a bad taste in my mouth, was mostly the comments and the craziness.
Okay. Saf?
For me, the good of this event was making the Magic Academy. I loved those decor and the craftables, the walls, and having a nice little school area there. The bad, oh geez, it was just too long. That was the big issue. The ugly was that it was the wrong time. It wasn't a Halloween event, so like people said over and over. I mean, if they did this event in summer, in lieu of Homer Palooza, I probably would have liked it a little bit more. Yeah.
Time Travel Toaster. This would have been better than Time Travel Toaster. But
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, that'd be a worthy debate right there.
So, well, when you're in the thick of an event, all you think about is that event, and in your mind, you're like, "This is the worst event ever." But and I thought that too. And going back, because I had to do a lot of prep work for this show, and going back looking at everything, honestly, Time Travel Toaster was worse. This event is probably is close to the bottom for me. I mean, I'm not a big pothead with two T's. But, you know, it had a lot of good stuff to it. Prize Track had characters in it, not necessarily just skins, which was nice. There was a hiccup in the beginning where they forgot to give everybody Wizarding Bart and Wizarding Lisa, so it screwed everybody up. But once that was corrected, it ran smoothly. Everything was fine with it. You had characters in the Prize Track. You had decent decorations. You had good craftables. Although I will say that 92% of the craftables were retreads, and they were awful. And the best craftable in the craftables was something that was already a prize, I think last year or the year before. So most people that have been playing, as long as, you know, we all have, didn't, you know, we got crappy craftables. But all in all, I'd say that this was probably a better event than, like I said, than Time Travel Toaster. But the only other issue I had with this was that a lot of the prizes, in particular, Lenny, Carl, and Barney, were not characters. They're just trolls that kind of stand there. So they're basically decorations. They're glorified decorations. So
I think it was one of the laziest. I mean, that's kind of how I rate them, is how much time actually went into the programming and the animation. And so, you know, Time Travel and this episode, I would say, were both pretty much elfish. They were both lazy in their programming and repetitiveness and retreadedness. Is that a word? Retreadedness? Yes, I'm going to go with that. It is now.
Holy freaking shirt is a word? That is too.
So is padular device. Don't forget, I'm still trying to coin that phrase. A padular device.
Anybody have any more thoughts about Halloween? Or do we? I mean, I feel like we've talked about Halloween to death.
We beat that to death.
Okay. So finally, we're on to the most wonderful time of the year, the annual Christmas event. The sixth and final major event hit our games in early December. This year, we retreated to an alien invasion. Kodos and Kang were scorned by not being included in our Halloween event this year. While many of you are still playing the event, we did have aliens to attack with the BS leak, Robo Funzos to destroy, and some really, really, really great dialogue. Major prizes included Santa and Mrs. Claus costumes for Kang and Kodos, worker elves, a motorcycle riding Buddha, and a frosty pixie. Premium offerings included Jesus, alien-themed North Pole, Christmas tree Ralph, Shiva, and Burns' long-lost love. So, thoughts on the Christmas event?
And don't forget Santa is a freemium.
Yes, Santa was a freemium as well.
What is there to say? This may rank up with maybe my top 2 or 3 best events ever. I absolutely think it's hilarious. On every level, it's hilarious. An equal opportunity offender, and yet they bring enough of the mythology, the whatever, how you want to phrase it, into the game to make it just hilarious. Every time that they added something, I was shocked by it. It was even funnier. Santa in the Speedo, dear Lord, I could watch that for hours. I mean, the man never stops jiggling. It's hilarious.
You used to put him next to Homer's pool.
It got me to zoom in to see if I could see butt crack. Let's just leave it at that.
You have to put him next to Homer's pool and put Homer on his task for being in the pool, and then you could have Homer laying on his back and Santa laying on his belly.
I don't think I want to go there. That's a little no. I had to edit my comment there, but no.
So, do you have any bad features for the Christmas event, Pat, or is it all good?
I don't know what I'm going to do with 10,000 ice tiles, but I don't care. That was such a little thing to worry about. The craftables I have not been jacked up about for a while, but there were some decent craftables. I've got pillars. I've got a few things. I got everything. I finished the event completely, including the last craftable, I think 2 days ago, and I wasn't tapping crazily to do it. So, that's a good sign to me. So it's finishing in time. If it would gone 6 weeks, oh my God, no, that'd be done.
So Saf, do you have thoughts on this event?
Let's see. I mean, it's pretty much all good here. I love the ease of the event, getting rid of that Q4H schedule. I mean, I unlocked Jack Frost and Santa on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve.
Appropriate.
Yeah, I had over 3,000. Yeah, no kid. Crafting currency, so I just splurged and unlocked all the craftables as well this weekend. Or it feels like a weekend, but yeah, Christmas, and then yesterday was Boxing Day in Canada, so I was off the last 4 days. So yeah, got all those craftables. I can't really think of anything bad about it. Yeah, overall it was a good event, solid event. Definitely one of the best events. Yeah, no complaints here.
So, I mean, I would say that this solidly is easily coasting into the best event of the year, and probably the best event of the last at least 2 years. This was a really good event. Dialogue was awesome. It was so funny, so spot on. Everybody was chuckling. People were buying premium items just because they were cool. And none of the premium items were really an upset. A couple items, well, the BS station was not. Don't buy that. That's a waste of money. But no. Most of the premium items are really cool. Like I said, the dialogue is great. The characters, I mean, you got a lot of full characters with this event, not just costumes, but you got full characters with this event, which is awesome. The animations are phenomenal. The prize track was really easy to do, which is great because this time of the year, everybody's busy. No matter what you're doing, even if you don't celebrate anything, just trying to wrap up a year end at work or school is difficult. So just having an easy, nice event that just kind of flowed. Everything was unlocked relatively quickly, relatively easy with little effort. Is great. My only complaint, and I know I've got it because I found bad points for every single event, is that the premium items, I've said this before, lacked a permanent character task for them and or bonus percentages. A lot of stuff looked great when it was animated, and then once you finish the quest line for it, which is one part, you were out of animation for it. you couldn't send anybody else there, so that kind of stunk. And some of the decorations.
I get a sense they may bring that in somehow.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm holding out hope for that.
Yeah, it seems odd to me too that they would have premium stuff that didn't have any bonus with it. But
and like every single premium decoration, not one of them had a bonus percentage, which was kind of odd. So
the BS, whatever that thing was, the giant wand in the sky, they could have really made that cool by making it like a holodeck, so that all the different characters the BS guys would all fly up there, and hang out. Because I think the Jesus stuff and twirling on the swing is brilliant. I mean,
Yes.
that him sitting up on the cloud with his laptop is just hilarious.
The animations with this event were so good, like so good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen animations this good in a really long time.
Yeah.
In every character, even just like Christmas Tree Ralph, his decorate himself task, hilarious. It made
They're
it worth
complex.
buying a skin. And normally I tell you don't buy skins. That made it worth buying the skin.
Yeah, I mean they're complex animations. The Santa Speedo practicing his dive thing. That's a long animation. There's a lot going on with that thing. So it makes me wince every time he goes down on his jubilees, but that's all right.
So EA, if you're watching, more like this in 2018, please.
Yes.
So now that we've covered all the events, all the major events, we still got to do mini events, but which would you say is your favorite, least favorite, and middle of the road event? So let's start with Safi. Safi, which one's your favorite?
Favorite, it's a Christmas event, followed closely by Homer Palooza.
Okay, your least favorite?
And least favorite would probably be Time Traveling Toaster.
Okay, and your middle of the road event, which is not great, not good, not bad, not good, just there.
So Around the World and Secret Agent, I would still call them better than middle of the road. So middle of the road for me would be Halloween, actually, surprisingly.
Okay.
So yeah, I have number 5 is my middle of the road, and 4 above it, and 1 below it, if you will.
Okay. Pat, favorite?
I just to make it easy, I'm going to defer to Safi on that. I'm pretty close on that. I mean, the favorite Christmas, Homer Palooza is probably next. And at the bottom, as you say, is Time Travel because it's so damn lazy. And that's about it. The rest of them are just kind of floating around depending on my whim. There's a couple things nice in each one of them, but it's just a whim thing.
So my favorite, Christmas, obviously. Least favorite, Time Travel Toaster. And middle of the road, I would say Around the World is middle of the road. I think Halloween's a little bit less for me than middle of the road, but that's just because I don't care about the theme of it. I'm not into Harry Potter stuff. So I'd say Around the World is the middle of the road for me.
Around the World, yeah, I agree. Because I mean that again, I got Norbert out of that, and we got to build a nice airport finally. Instead of faking it.
So now for the reader's point of view, we had a poll up last week, so everybody was nice enough to submit their answers. So no surprise, the reader's favorite event was Christmas by 40%. That was followed by Around the World at 25%. And then that was followed by Homer Palooza, Secret Agents, Time Travel, and then Halloween. Least favorite major event, also not a surprise because it is freshest in their minds, Halloween, 45%. And that was followed by Homer Palooza, 17%. And then that was followed by Time Travel Toaster, Secret Agents, Around the World, and Christmas. And the reader's middle of the road event was tied. It was tied with Secret Agents and Time Travel Toaster, followed by Halloween, Around the World, and Christmas. Everybody loved Christmas, which is the gist of what I'm getting. It is interesting that more people like Time Travel Toaster than we did. I don't know if it's because it's further from their minds, so they're kind of like, oh yeah, that event, or they actually enjoyed it. So we'll see.
There's probably some Booberella fans out there.
Maybe. So now that we've covered the major events, let's talk quickly about the mini events. 2017 saw 6 mini events: Homer the Heretic, Rommelwood Academy, Pin Pals, Pride, County Fair, and Thanksgiving. So let's kick things off in order once again with Homer the Heretic. The first mini event of 2017. In January, we finally saw Rabbi K, and we also got Brother Faith in our games, plus a bathrobe wearing Homer, and who could forget the first instance of God talking in TSTO. So our thoughts on Homer the Heretic. Obviously, this was the first event. This was before even any major events in 2017. This was the very first thing that we saw this year.
Right. Wasn't a fan.
Okay.
I thought it was okay. It felt cobbled together, and because it came so closely to and was kind of bundled in with the horrendous Christmas thing last year. It just didn't ring. There was just, for me, it just wasn't that great.
Okay. Saf?
For me at the time, I really liked it. It was a great one, but when I think about the other mini events that followed, it wasn't quite up to par with those. But still, I feel like it was a better than average event, or mini event, if you will.
It was a solid mini event. As far as mini events go, it wasn't good. It wasn't great. Rabbi K was premium, as was Brother Faith. Really, the only freemium things we got with that were Homer, bathrobe wearing Homer, and a couple decorations and his animation. So it's a middle of the road event. Spring of 2017 saw our second mini event in the form of Rommelwood Academy, a military-inspired event that brought us tanks, barracks, the Eliminator, and Cadet Lisa. So thoughts on Rommelwood?
I liked it at the time. I actually have a whole section still set up off in my woods. I have the huge, wooded area where I have a national park and all kinds of stuff. So I do have the academy over there. It's okay. I like the Lisa thing where she goes hand over hand on the deal. I didn't think it was, again, I didn't think it was super well conceived. It seemed like it was kind of one-dimensional, but I liked it okay. It was all right.
Okay. Saf?
I thought it was a pretty solid mini event. I liked it. I loved the addition of the mini game with Conquer the Eliminator. Not really a mini game, more of a mini task, but the opportunity to get a nuke or anything with a bonus percentage is always great. And not to mention, it comes with a pretty good animation, like Pat said, of Lisa trying to conquer the Eliminator. And yeah, overall, I liked the decor. I liked all the little things that we got with it. So at the time, it was probably my favorite mini event.
So yeah, I mean, I liked it too. I enjoyed blogging about it mostly because I could call the readers maggots, and that was fun. But I did a lot of that. But no, I'm just playing, guys. But no, it was fun. It was a good event. The Eliminator task is fun. Cadet Lisa was a nice bonus. A solid mini event. That's what mini events are.
I should add that I really liked it because the episode was a solid episode too. I really liked that episode.
That's true too.
Yeah, it was really good.
This actually had good, decent decorations with it. So you could make a full academy area, which was nice. Some of the other mini events kind of have hodgepodges of things, and you can't really do much with it. So this was nice because you could make a full military area, which is what I did.
Plus, I had a ton of leftover burning pyres from the other events. So man, my whole Rommelwood's on fire pretty much.
So our third mini event rolled in late spring of 2017. We finally saw the Pin Pals arrive in town. Finally, the famed Pin Pals were together as we got skins for Homer, Mo, and Apu, if you didn't already have it. And of course, the awesome crane game. And no bowling alley is complete without lanes and great bowling animations. So thoughts on Pin Pals?
Fail. Sorry.
Fail?
I thought I was really excited about the potential, and I just thought that the offerings were lazy. And I know Safi liked it. I can already feel him saying it. I thought the animations were lazy. It's weird to have outdoor bowling. The claw game's fun, but it was, to me, it just, for all the cool episodes that the Pin Pals are in, it had so little zazz for me. It was like, eh.
We also saw Jacques. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I didn't get him.
So
as
a premium.
Safi?
I have to check the history books, but I think lawn bowling actually preceded indoor bowling. But anyways.
Yeah, lawn bowling is not the same as full pins, though, with a pin setter. That's not the same. So.
But yeah, actually, I do agree with Pat. I was a little underwhelmed with the mini event. I liked it. I mean, I won't say I did dislike the mini event. but they could have done so much more with this.
Yeah.
So, well, one thing I like with it is that the bowling animation, you can actually watch the characters bowl, which is nice.
Yeah.
A lot of times you just send them to go bowl and they go into a building and you don't see it. This was neat. They actually put some thought into that. The crane game was a little lame. The prizes in the crane game weren't so good. So, I mean, this to me was okay, an okay mini event. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It just was there. I wouldn't say it was awful, but it wasn't, you know, AA plus stuff.
Agreed.
Okay, so the start of summer 2017 saw our fourth mini event, which was Pride 2017. Julio arrived in Springfield along with Grady and Prideful Crosswalks. Plus, we got more fire hydrants in our games. So thoughts on Pride?
Wow. What a loaded question.
Sorry.
No, it's all right.
This particular, the question remains to this particular mini event, not Pride in general.
And I got it. And actually, what's interesting for me is that I think most of it with me was timing. I was super busy last summer for obvious reasons, just before Katie's wedding. It just didn't. When you bring something around the second time and all you do is paint stuff rainbow, it's like, really? I mean, what guy got paid for that? Did the guy get extra money for that, or did they have some poor little troll in the basement that had to paint everything rainbow color? It's So I didn't buy a lot of it. I don't have a lot of it. Every once in a while, just to be annoying, I'll change Moe's, into whatever with the balloons. But it's just, it just didn't have any juice for me.
Saf?
For me, it was an average mini event. I mean,
nothing's below average with you. You do realize that, right? Nothing.
Time traveling toaster so far. I have one below average.
Okay, the events are pretty standard. I mean, there's not, they're just standard.
I have to grade my major events. Going back to the major ones quickly. Yeah, I'd give Christmas an A++. I'd give Homer Palooza an A+. I'd give Around the World and Secret Agents a B+. And then I'd give Halloween probably a C, and I would give Time Traveling Toaster a D-. So that's below average. Time Traveling Toaster.
So back to Pride.
Going back to the mini events, I would have to say see, I do have something below average. Right. For me, I did the bracket battle around the same time this event came out.
It screwed us up.
And this was busting the bracket so much. 4 buildings, I think.
One Night Stands, League of Extra Horny Gentlemen, that was all in there.
Yep.
Yeah. And then Julio and Grady.
But
yeah, it had Julio in the bracket battle last year for characters. Yeah.
I mean,
so it was overall, for a mini event, I think they had some good additions.
This was nice.
Remember what of it was premium?
I'll say too, this was nice for a mini event because it was rare. We got a full character in the mini event track line. We don't usually get that. Usually we get a skin for an existing character. So this was nice. You actually got Grady as part of the quest line, as part of the prize track quest line, which was nice. Julio obviously was premium, so this was nice because it had that little aspect to it. But I kind of agree with Pat. It's like, making something a rainbow doesn't necessarily, do much for people. So. To me, this was a standard event. I did like I said, I liked that you got a full character as part of the prize track, which was nice. So that gives it a nice boost, ahead of some other events. But standard event.
For me, it was again, I was distracted. It came out in July. Katie got married July 21st. There's no way I was caring about it. That was part of it. So, sorry.
All right. So fall is the perfect time for county fairs, and that's exactly what our town saw this past fall. As our 5th mini event, the county fair hit our games in September. This mini event saw the arrival of Mary Spuckler, Amber Dempsey, Cheddar Barrel Farms, and the unforgettable Paralyzer. I mean, I can't even speak. Paralyzer Ride. Yes.
Wow.
It's been a long few days. So, thoughts on the county fair mini event?
Well, I think Safi's going to love it. So, no, I loved it. I actually liked it a lot. I have an elaborate, pretty elaborate farm, which ran me way up into my my limit again, where I start getting my stupid limit tags again. But no, I've got a pretty good sized farm in my town that I really like. I thought the animation was good. I thought it was clever. It was really different. That's the point. It was different than a lot of other things that they've done. So I thought it was great.
Saf?
Yeah, best mini event ever.
Mhm.
Ever?
No, I wouldn't say ever. I think Valentine's Day when we got Mona Simpson was better, but it's just my opinion.
You liked it, okay?
I loved it. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the county fair event was great. The prize track was nice. The prizes in the prize track were nice. The premium offerings were great. You had 2 characters. Mary Spuckler was somebody who was highly requested, so it was great to see her in the game. Paralyzer animation is hilarious. It still cracks me up, especially when I accidentally tap on it and don't realize it, and all of a sudden my game shoots a little cart off into the Simpson house or Springfield Elementary or Quickie Mart. So that was a good event, solid event, easily the best mini event of the year. So finally, our year of mini events wrapped up in November with our 6th mini event, which was Thanksgiving. This one went to the birds. This Thanksgiving saw Hacker Lisa, Quinn, and Conrad, plus Krusty wore a coat made of foxes, and Homer's beloved Deuce's Caboose chili dog cart hit our games. So your thoughts on Thanksgiving? This should be the freshest in your mind.
Yeah, it must not have been very good because I hardly remember much of any of that. And that's odd. It's funny. It didn't leave an impression. What can I say? I don't remember almost any of the characters you had. I'm turning 64, however, on January 1st, and that could just be the short-term memory starting to go. The CTE, too many shots to the head in rugby and football. So we'll see. No, I remember it as being kind of meh. I wasn't jacked up about it at all.
Okay. Saf?
Yeah, Thanksgiving events in general don't get me too excited. One, I celebrate Thanksgiving a month earlier. So
That'll do.
Fair point.
And 2, my favorite part of Simpsons that are tapped out, my favorite time of year is Black Friday. So it was just kind of a filler until Black Friday came for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nothing really great about it. Nothing horrible about it. It was there.
I will say that I think the reason I don't remember it so much is that's when I got into the giant donut farming debate and started actually going the way of Safi and trying Safi donut farming for like 9 weeks or 10 weeks or something. So that may be why I don't remember anything else except clearing quickie marts.
You have PTSD from that.
That's right.
So yeah, I mean this Thanksgiving event was there. It was pretty standard. Nothing spectacular offered with it. It was decent. The best part about it, I would say, is probably the mystery boxes for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Those boxes are probably the best for a lot of people. Got a lot of great deals. But that's about it. It was just there. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't
a lot of retreads in that one. I just remember looking at the list and going, "Oh, I already have all of this except for the powwow one, which I refuse to buy."
Well, if you count Black Friday and Cyber Monday as part of the Thanksgiving mini event, then I thought it was great. Loved it.
So now that we've covered all the mini events, which would you say is your favorite, least favorite, and middle of the road? We'll go with Pat.
I don't remember anymore. God, the CTE's kicking in.
Well, you already said County Fair was your favorite, so
yeah, there. Thank you. See, for me, it's really in that situation. County Fair was so much better than everything else that I wouldn't even go a middle of the road, up or lower. I'd go kind of like I did with the big ones. It's like County Fair and everything else, really, for me. Nothing else was that great.
So what was your least favorite?
Apparently Thanksgiving.
All right, Saf.
For me, definitely County Fair. I give it like an A++. And then Rumwood was a pretty close second, I would say. Not that close, but like a solid A mini event. For me, middle of the road.
A, but needs extra credit. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pin Pals and Pride would probably be the middle of the road, which again, middle of the road for me is like a a B event. And then Homer the Heretic was probably my second least favorite, and least favorite was Thanksgiving, if you don't count Black Friday and Cyber Monday again.
So, okay. So my favorite, like you guys, County Fair. My middle of the road was Homer the Heretic, and only because Rabbi K came into the game, even though he was premium. And my least favorite was Thanksgiving. So, now for the reader's take on the mini events. Their favorite mini event was County Fair, 23%, followed closely by Pride and Pin Pals, both tied for 21%. That was followed by Rommelwood, then Homer the Heretic, then Thanksgiving. Their least favorite mini event was, this is interesting because the last one would have shown you that Thanksgiving was their least favorite. In this case, their least favorite was Pride with 23%. That was followed by Rommelwood at 18%. Then you had County Fair, Thanksgiving, and Homer the Heretic were both tied with 15%. And Pin Pals was the runner-up with 13%. And middle of the road mini event was Rommelwood, 23%. That was
That tells me some people just didn't vote though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the deal. It threw the skewed it up.
That was followed. Well, that was followed by County Fair, and then Pin Pals, Thanksgiving, Pride, and Homer the Heretic.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge just because it's on top of my mind right now. I'm going to challenge Safi to a post at some point in the future. I want you to write just anything you don't like. Tell me. I would like you to, because the thing is, don't like for you is a D, but you probably still eat it, right? So it could be like you don't really like toast with Nutella. You'd rather have peanut butter and jelly or something. But Nutella, you'd only give a D. You wouldn't give it an F, right?
I give both Nutella and peanut butter A pluses, but that example.
So I'm just, the thing is, it's good to have a guy like you around, because if you don't like it, it must really be awful. That's kind of where I go with it.
For me, it was something I don't like. I mean, there's not really a whole post of it. It would be something that like I didn't really like in the show, and I wouldn't want in my game. So like the BS.
What about life in general, though? Life in general. I'm going broad here.
Broad.
Movies. Favorite.
He doesn't like the Yankees.
He doesn't like the Yankees. Well, we know that
because he's a Toronto Blue Jays fan and they stink.
See, but I don't hate the Yankees, so you gotta find something that I hate, right?
I tried to give you an easy out, man. I tried to give you an easy out.
He's the nicest guy in the world. He really is my yin. I need you, Sappy. I need you in my life. You're saving me from myself.
I'll think of something that I hate.
All right. I'm curious.
Sappy thing. We've now come to our non-event updates. Those were just little updates, maybe a little bit of dialogue and a couple of new premium items and loads of returning items. These events were Lunar New Year, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, 4th of July, and Superheroes 3. We're not going to break each one down individually. Don't worry. They were mostly just sales on returning content and a little bit of dialogue. But I will say 4th of July did bring Ike to Springfield, which was cool. Instead, let's just talk about which was our favorite, our least favorite, and which was our middle of the road.
Say it again.
Do you guys even remember any of them?
No, just say it one more time. Repeat them again.
Lunar New Year, which was the Chinese New Year one. Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, 4th of July, and Superheroes 3.
Yeah. So there we go. 4th of July. Yeah, that was the only one that I liked out of all.
Patrick, the rest of them stunk for him. Okay.
That's right. They were just like, again, and as you're right, they're like donut grabs.
So, Sav?
I liked Lunar New Year. It was kind of nice. I mean, it could have probably been a part of Around the World, maybe, but it kind of fit in well with that.
So yeah, I would say Lunar New Year was my. Oh, I'm sorry, Safi. What was your least favorite one? Sorry.
Least favorite of those. I can't even remember them, to be honest with you. Like, what was I remember what they were, but I don't remember what the offerings were. They're all
mostly just returning stuff.
It's all returns. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say Lunar New Year was probably my favorite, and that would be followed by 4th of July because I always love a 4th of July update. My least favorite was Superheroes 3 because I think Superheroes just needs to die already. I think we're done with Superheroes. 2 major events based on superheroes was enough. We didn't need a third little mini update of retrending crap. However, the readers did not agree with me because 35% of the readers thought Superheroes 3 was their favorite non-event event. And that was followed by 4th of July, Lunar New Year, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, and Easter. Their least favorite non-event was also Superheroes.
Yeah.
Followed by Valentine's Day, Lunar New Year, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, and 4th of July. I will say, Pat, everybody had to vote because everything was a mandatory question. Otherwise, you couldn't submit it. So you had to answer every question.
That's interesting then.
So middle of the road was St. Patrick's Day. That was followed by Easter, 4th of July, Lunar New Year, Superheroes, and Valentine's Day. So
I think if we did a breakdown of these stats, I could kind of probably dissect some info about it.
I can send it to you.
But like, yeah. I think I know what Superheroes 3's favorite and least favorite.
So what would you guys say was your favorite splash screen from 2017? Technically we had 7 of them.
Christmas. I mean,
Christmas?
I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, when you've got, well, it's hard to say splash screen because you're talking about the actual, when you open up the game.
Yeah.
I thought, the promo screen and the flash screen for Christmas were both great. The promo screen with all of the BS League fighting the alien was great. I mean, it's killer.
Okay. So. Saf?
Yeah, Christmas was a nice one. I really liked it. A little different.
So I think Homer Palooza was great. It was pretty creative. It was definitely something we haven't seen before, the way that they did it. But I'm also a fan of the Christmas one that's going on right now. But you guys all know I love Christmas. But it was, if you notice, there's no Skyfinger in that one. There's no Skyfinger in the Christmas one.
Different, yeah.
Usually there's one a year with no Skyfinger. Typically it's a Halloween one. So.
Isn't that telling a story though, right there?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's right. We are not gods. We are not the gods.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So we'll wrap things up with, do you guys have any bold predictions for 2018 in TSTO?
Oh, thank goodness you said in TSTO. That was going to explode. My head was going to explode. You know what's really weird about...
Let's stick it TSTO.
I'm going to guess they're going to, at some point this year, we'll see Sarah Wiggum. I mean, we've run out of things to really complain about. And as far as, major characters we want, I think this will be the year we get Sarah Wiggum somehow, some way. I'm not sure when or how, but I don't know if that's a major prediction or not. Okay.
Saf?
So my predictions are actually going to be my next bracket battle this coming summer, 2018. A little promo there. Let's see, but I'm not sure Sarah. I think they might hold on Sarah for one more year.
Oh my God.
I guess it's Sarah 2019.
So, so Patrick's bold prediction is we're going to see Sarah. Safi's bold prediction is she won't come till 2019. Okay. Yeah. Any other bold predictions?
What do you think is going to happen in 2018, Safi? Other than something not happening.
I think we're going to get some more realistic characters, Stephen Hawking's, real life characters they're starting to introduce into the game now.
Oh, I forgot Weird Al was part of Homer Palooza.
Yeah, Weird Al.
Goes to show you how memorable he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think now with Stephen Hawking's and Weird Al in the game, I think we're going to see, my guess is maybe 4 real life characters in 2018. Yeah, that's my prediction. 4.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll see.
All right. I mean, I kind of agree with Patrick. We're going to see Sarah Wiggum in 2018, and the fact that they finally put some dialogue in the game with her icon in it kind of makes me think that she might be coming. So I think we'll see Sarah in 2018, maybe for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing, but I didn't want to go too far out there.
My biggest bold prediction is EA is going to listen to us and keep events to 4 weeks. 2 acts to 4 weeks.
I hope you're right. I hope you are right.
And they're going to get rid of crafting. That's my far out there crazy prediction. They're going to get rid of crafting because it sucks.
That's not going to happen. Now, I think if there's anything they mess with, it's going to be back along what you were talking about a few months ago, which is they're going to change up the currency a little bit here and there. It's I don't know. I mean, it's the thing is that when you can farm all the donuts you need, as long as you're just obsessively doing nothing else every 4 hours the rest of your life. It's almost like its own reward on some level. They obviously don't care about it. They don't, because they could have restricted it so many ways very easily. All they would have had to do is change the dynamic on the price of KEMs to make it ridiculous. So I don't think that's going to change, but I think we are going to see more characters, as you were predicting, that we're going to have to buy real donuts to get. I think they're going to be locked in.
Cash money.
Maybe Sarah Wiggum. That would not be a surprise to me at all.
No, yeah, I agree.
I've stocked up on my gift cards from Costco, so I'm ready.
There you go. There you go.
So does anyone else have anything they'd like to add?
No, I think all in all, it was an okay year. I wasn't nearly as cranky as I have been in the past about some things.
You're welcome, everyone.
I don't know if that was just me changing or actually the game just kind of getting better. What I would like to do is remind the readers every time they complain about something not being as good as it could be, go back 3 years on any level. The number of changes they have made to make the game easier and more fun, and I mean everything from just being able to tap and find a character quickly. I mean, all these different things that have happened in the last 3 years. I think it's evolved pretty nicely, quite frankly, for a free game. I think it's evolved amazingly. So before you complain anymore, because you're actually starting to out-complain the complainer, chillax a little bit. Think back a little bit, and we'll go from there. So there we go.
So yeah, and if anybody wants to review, all the events we talked about, you can always go to the events page, which is, I think, tstoaddicts.com/events. But if not, you can find it in the tips and tricks menu on the top of the thing, and there's a tapped out events page. That'll take you to the overview of every single event that's ever been in this game, starting from when this site started, which would be Halloween 2013. We don't cover anything before that, but that'll really give you a good idea of what happened with these events, what was in there, because a lot of times you just forget. I know I did, especially if it's not fresh in your mind. You're like, oh yeah, that was okay, and then you look back and you go, oh wow, that sucked. So
it's all relative.
Do you have any thoughts about the year overall? Saf?
No, sorry, me. That was Pat.
Saf and Pat do sound alike, so.
Overall, yeah, I thought it was a solid year. I liked the majority of the events, which Pat will argue is not different than most years. But yeah, it was great to be added to the team as well. Thank you for that. Yeah, as far as we already talked about predictions, as far as wishes for 2018, I wished we get another Heights, more land in Heights.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah, more land in Heights would be my #1 wish, I guess.
So for those curious, since everybody got it now, and Wookie sent me a text telling me he got it. He waited till Christmas to open it, Pat. This was the Addicts gift this year. This was our collector's Addicts gift. So it's Homer with a set of instructions with a snowman pile. And for all your readers, you guys are the snowman pile, because no matter how many directions we give you, many of you end up looking like this. No matter how much we try, some of you just end up looking like this. We love you, and we love that you continue to come back, but a lot of times you end up looking like this. So it doesn't change how we feel about you, I promise, but it's our own little Addicts reminder that, not to make ourselves crazy when we have to answer the same question 600 times. So that's it from us. Thanks for tuning in and being part of the awesome Addicts community in 2017 and prior to that. We hope you all have a happy, healthy, and safe new year. Be sure to tune into our next episode of Addicts Live, which will be the first one in 2018, which will be January 13th, back to our regular time, 12 p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S. And this will be our episode all about nuking your Springfield that we asked you guys about. Gosh, feels like 2 months ago now. So we have to delve into those comments ourselves and kind of break it down. But
it was 2 months ago.
Yeah. So and happy early birthday to our very own cranky old guy. 64. Too bad he's not 65.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's will you still love me when I'm 64, but will you still pay for my, shoulder replacement when I'm 64? No, you won't. I have to wait till I'm 65.
There you go. So, anyone else have anything they'd like to add to wrap up?
Nope.
I too am really happy Safi's part of the team. You bring a whole different type of energy. Your happiness makes me happy. I tried donut farming because of you. And I think it's great to have you on board. You're a great addition to the team, and all of the community should be very happy that you agreed to be part of the madness, as they say.
Thanks, Pat.
And Safi's been writing posts for us for so long that I forget that this was the year that he became part of the team. So yes, I'm thrilled to have Safi as part of the team, and the way he stepped in and taking care of some comments and stuff for us as well. Great 2017.
Yeah. Actually, there's the difference between being a team member and not being a team member, is that lots of times the comments are clear. It's like, oh, Safi must be up.
Exactly. So, especially on the open threads, I know readers appreciate that you're on top of those open threads, because Lord knows I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. The time zone difference, hilarious, is that I only really have to look for comments after like 9:30 my time.
Yeah.
Because you guys are both in bed.
Exactly. So, all right. So everyone have a great New Year's. Have an awesome start to 2018. Stick to those resolutions, and we will see you in 2 weeks. So, bye-bye, everyone. Happy New Year.
Yeah. Bye-bye.